and then we will get ready for action here. It'll go again, hot laps for Group A, qualifying for Group A, hot laps for Group B, qualifying for Group B, and a 4-car invert for your top cars to line up your heat race action, as well as a point system. Basically take Knoxville's point system, but no passing points involved in that scoring system, just for your qualifying time and for your finishing results. Top 6 in points will go in the dash, which we will have a dice roll for later on in the evening after heat races are wrapped up. Everyone else lined up on their point system. It'll line up heads up from that, and your B main will also be lined up from that point system.
Thank you again for joining us tonight here at Millstream Speedway. Welcome to those of you in attendance, those of you joining us online on FloRacing. FloRacing, a great partner for the All-Star Circuit of Champions as well as USAC. So grateful to have this race being streamed on Flo. We just had engine heat a little bit ago. I believe we are pushing the first group out for hot laps for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. I believe engine heat is finishing up here. You can see the last couple USAC Midwest Thunder midgets pushing off. And I believe off of turn number 2, we are pushing off for the first set of hot laps for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. And up here with me is the voice of the All-Stars, Alex. Welcome, Alex, to Millstream.
I was like excited to come here because I've seen races, of course, back in 2016. Excited to come here. It's a Sunday, sunny Sunday. We'll go with that. You know, Mother Nature hasn't played nice. Even for us, you know, took off a whole month. We've been 50-50 on our schedule so far. We've gotten 3 races in. At this point, no, we're under 50% because we got 4 rainouts. So we're under the 50% mark. After tonight, we'll be 50-50 again on our shows. But first group out for hot laps. In the 15K from Alvida, Ohio, and the Ohio Logistics, Truckworks of Ohio, Debbie and Doug Ludwig, Kaiser Racing Wheels, Banshee Graphics. That is the 15K of Creek Kemenal. Creek Kemenal heading into turn 1 and 2. Also on the Speedway from Findlay, Ohio in the 32, the ST Motorsports, Big Red Truck Wash. Smith Titanium, Jocko Sprints parts, X1 race cars, that is Bryce Lucius. Bryce Lucius in the 32. And the 29 from Tiffin, Ohio. That'll be Zeth Sabo, the Level Utilities, Fremont Auto Parts, Linder Speed Equipment 29, Zeth Sabo coming down the front straightaway. And behind him in the 13 from Valparaiso, Indiana, in the Team VW Audi Quick Time Car Wash Triple X Race Cars, that is Van Gurley Jr. Van Gurley Jr. in the 13. Also on the Speedway, Creek Kemenal on the 15K, again from Alvida, Ohio. Behind him in the 40, Fayetteville, correction. From Memphis, Tennessee, in the Mike's Pool Care Stinson Industrial, the 40, that's Howard Moore. Howard Moore in the 40 heading down the backstretch. The 98. Ricky Peterson Jr. in the 98 car. Ricky Peterson, the Golden Flavor Sesame Sticks King Cold Meats. That is the 98 again of Ricky Peterson Jr. The 17 GP from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. And the Lifestyle Homes Parallax Motorsports. That's the Steel City Outlaw of Tim Schaefer. Tim Schaefer and the 17 GP. From Ashland, Ohio in the 7DK, that's Dylan Kingen. Dylan Kingen in the 7DK car heading down the front stretch. As that is how group number 1 of hot laps will come out.
Alex, something interesting here at Millstream Speedway. As you can see our flag stand down there close to turn number 1. Our flag stand here is more for ceremonial purposes. It's just there to, the guys up there, he's flagging, they're important, don't get me wrong. But for scoring purposes, timing and scoring purposes, you're actually going to look at these orange cones right in front of the tower here. The orange cones directly in the middle of the front stretch. That is where races will start and end tonight, not at the flag stand.
Also, do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can set your dirt draft. It's a week-long competition with Ohio Speedway. Dirt Draft also a sponsor on the All-Star Circuit of Champions all season long. Download Dirt Draft, set your Dirt Draft lineup here tonight. So here we go. Cars going to get up to speed as we get ready here for group number 1 of Hot Laps. This green flag will wave here on group number 1 of Hot Laps. Bryce Lucius, quick time so far here as now Dylan Kingan goes 16.391. The top of the board, Brock Hallett to third, quick 16.708. Zeth Sabo now second, quick 16.467. This checkered flag will wave here on group number 1. Dylan Kingan 16.391, Zeth Sabo 16.467. Bryce Lucius, Creed Kavanaugh, Brock Hallett be your top 5.
Looks like they're going to push off a couple D2 midgets here. A couple teammates out there of Drew Rader and Luke Hall. Going to push them off. I would imagine they'll go back pit side here pretty quickly. Just going to fire those engines up, and then we'll roll on to group number 2 for Hot Laps for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Well, Alex, we don't have any radio communication up here in the tower, but there were some cars in the staging area high atop turn number 2. They're being pushed back to the trailer, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on there. Perhaps something as simple as a change of format. All right, they're going water the track. We're going water the track. That's probably something that you guys were expecting after that first session of Hot Laps right there, but that's something that you're just kind of questioning with how much moisture this racetrack has taken in the last several days. You just have to be careful with it. Obviously, it could use a little bit more, actually. So you can see the water truck out there putting some water high atop turns 3 and 4. May do a little bit of track prep here. I'm assuming since the cars went back to the trailers, it might be just a few moments. But again, thank you so much for joining us here at Millstream Speedway. Feel free to take a picture if you are here in the stands. Send it to some family and friends and let them know they have plenty of time to join us. And those of you watching online on Flow, make sure you have your friends tune in tonight. It's going to be a great night to broadcast here at Millstream Speedway. We're going to take a few moments here, take a little bit of a break, but we'll be back here shortly for the All-Star Circuit of Champions, round number 3, technically round number 1, here at Millstream Speedway. wireless check 1, 2. Hey, it works now. Welcome back to those of you joining us on FloRacing. So grateful to have you joining us online for night number 1, technically 3, whatever you want to call it, for the All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Speedweek. Those of you that were watching online, you saw the track for hot lap session for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. All-Stars got together and said, we want to put a little bit more moisture in this track. So that is what you are seeing right now. Water truck working its way off of turn number 4. I can do play-by-play for that. You have the tractor over in turn number 1. So we're just doing some final touches here to get the track in as perfect conditions as we possibly can. A lot of rain in the area the last several days. Those of you that are in the Midwest watching online, you know how bad it's been. It's been a lot of moisture, a lot of tracks canceling in the area. For me personally, I'm supposed to have a 3-race weekend, not with the All-Stars, with different series, and those first 2 canceled, and now it's just Millstream. And I'm just so grateful to be here. I woke up like a kid on Christmas morning, like, oh, I get to finally go to a race. So that's what you're seeing right now. We are finishing up these touches, the track prep touches on the racetrack, putting more moisture in, getting that moisture as deep into the racetrack as we possibly can. So just be patient with us. We will resume with hot lap sessions. We're going to start them over for the All-Star Circuit of Champions as soon as track prep is done. So we'll start over with hot laps for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. They will then come out for their qualifying sessions. We will roll on into hot laps for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, followed by their qualifying, and then it's time to go heat racing. So sit back, relax. If you are here, head down to the concession stand. If you are at home, go to the fridge, crack open a nice cold beverage, maybe an alcoholic one for those of you that are 21, and we will begin hot laps here shortly at Millstream Speedway.
as you see cars hitting the speedway here again. Getting heat back in their motor, and we will get right back here with hot laps, followed by qualifying. And again, this will be Group A, followed by Group B's hot laps and qualifying. 36 cars signed in here for night number 3. Technically, opening night here in full racing action for Ohio Speedweek. Again, have to thank Overwatch Precision, the title sponsor for this year's edition of Ohio Speedweek, and Gill Construction, the presenting sponsor for the 43rd annual Ohio Speedweek. Every night leading up to Saturday will pay $7,500 to win, 24 grand to win the Dean Niddle Memorial on Saturday night at Atomic Speedway. Again, we have the 5AU, that's Brock Hallett and the Kaiser Wheels Slade Shock GW Racing entry. Don't forget, Brock Hallett has merchandise down in between Dylan Norris and the All-Star merchandise trailer. Get his merchandise before he heads back. He will be here for Ohio Speed Week, and then that will be it probably for the season here in that car. A lot of nice shirts for Brock Hallett. Again, Dylan Norris right beside the All-Star merchandise trailer. Also right behind the grandstand, Danny Dietrich. I think Casey Jedrzak had some nice merchandise down there as well. The All-Star trailer, we have Caleb Henry's merchandise. I think Brandon Spithaller just had some new merchandise. Devin Borden's merchandise trailer is also down behind the grandstand. I think Cody Bova has merchandise in the trailer as well. Cars on track right now. Cap Henry in the 33W. Casey Jedrzak in the 11. Danny Dietrich in the 48. Ryan Smith in the 6. Zane DeVault. Caleb Henry, Brandon Spithaller, Cody Bova. All these drivers getting heat back in their engines before we go back to hot laps.
Got to keep an eye on the 4 of Zane DeVault. Zane DeVault, a 2-time winner here last year at Millstream Speedway, picking up a win on the 4 10th mile racetrack as well as the inside quarter mile. So since we've been back open here at Millstream, Zane DeVault's the only driver with a wing that's gone to victory lane. He'll be a driver to keep an eye on in that number 4 coming off of turn number 2 later on tonight. Brock Zierfoss in the 3Z, making the trip from PA here overnight. I believe he's going to be with the All-Star Circuit of Champions for, unofficially, I believe, 5 nights? For the next 5 nights. So not doing the whole speed week, but being told about 5 nights for Brock Zierfoss. You can see him crossing the start-finish line right now. Glad he was able to make the trip here to Findlay, Ohio. Of course, 2 cars behind him, the 33W of Cap Henry. Always a driver to keep an eye on, whether it's at Fremont, Attica, here at Millstream. His name always in contention for wins. Creed Kemenaugh on the 15K, excuse me. Kemenaugh last name, so many people here in the area knows, from the Findlay area. Son of Chad Kemenaugh. And if you're just joining us, putting more heat in the engine, as well as doing some wheel packing here on the Speedway after some track work after that first hot lap session. So I would imagine here in a few moments, you'll slowly start seeing cars exit the Speedway, and I would think group number 1 will stay out for their hot lap session. So that is pure speculation. I have no idea if that's what's happening, but that is what I would imagine is going on here. Brandon Spitholler in the 22, heading into turn number 3, a 2-time fast champion.
Another driver pulling off the Speedway, the 27 of Steven Snyder Jr. Goes to Attica. We cancel. Heads over to US 24, runs the big one last night, sadly didn't make the show, just to come right back here and run his sprint car. And also, you know, you see him in a USAC midget in his rookie campaign, and he's opened some eyes very quickly as he's from Maryland, comes to PA a lot, runs micro sprints, now running midgets. And he's one of those drivers that, at a young age, has now opened some eyes of one of those kids that can drive pretty much most open wheel cars, I would say.
Yeah, really good driver, really good kid, really good family. I saw him walking through the pit area earlier, and you know, I do a lot with the midgets, so I knew of him from the midget side of things. I did not know that he did some wing sprint car racing in the 410, so that was news to me. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but it's good to see Steven Snyder Jr. here with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. And then on the opposite end of that, you have a veteran like Greg Wilson heading into turn number 1.
The difference in the All-Star roster, and again, Steven not running the All-Stars full-time, but running a good chunk of the schedule. But you look, you know, Greg Wilson, and then right behind Greg Wilson, Aiden Price. Talk about the age gap and the driver years gap. I would say Greg Wilson's been driving almost as many years as Aiden Price has been on this earth.
Yeah, it is cool to see that big of a experience difference and age difference with the All-Stars. We have the same thing with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. I believe our youngest driver is 14, 15 years of age, somewhere around there. I know he couldn't run Eldora with us because he was too young, so that's Dylan Trost. You'll see him later on tonight. And then we have Jim Jones, who's in his early to mid-70s. So we're spread out quite a bit when it comes to that age gap. But it's just so great to see people racing as young as 14, 15, going all the way up into their 70s. Remember when I said earlier that I think they're going to start exiting the racetrack and Group 1 will stay out for hot laps? I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought Group 1 would stay out and we would roll right into their hot lap session. That is not the case, but we are not too far along. Anxious to see some cars over there in the staging area to push off for these hot lap sessions. And again, right after hot laps for the All-Stars, they roll right into their qualifying. We don't do that with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. We won't single car qualify or put 2 on the racetrack. We'll group qualify, so we'll save a lot of time there. And we'll try to roll on with these hot lap and qualifying sessions for both series, get onto opening ceremonies. And I would imagine once we get going, we'll be going in an expedited mode throughout the night. So thank you for your patience, those of you that are here in person, those of you watching online on FloRacing. We had some minor track issues, so we reworked the track a little bit, and that is the reason for the delay. But again, in just a few moments, we will have Hot Lap session number 1 for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Alex, look, we're on TV. I'm just kidding, you can't really see him, but if you're in the stands right now, it's a good time to wave. You can't see it, but there's a lot of people at home that have a great shot of the grandstand. So you can wave at all those people at home watching on FloRacing, let them know that they should be here, because it might be a little bit of a late night, but this is the place to be. I would much rather be here than at home watching on Flo, that's for sure.
Cars heading back to the staging area, and then we will get ready. Another session here of hot laps before we go into qualifying. Again, 36 Napa Auto Parts All-Star Circuit of Champions here at Millstream. Here we go. Cars hitting the speedway. And the 40 from Memphis, Tennessee, Mike's Pool Care, Stinson Industrial. That's Howard Moore. Right behind Howard Moore from Findlay, Ohio, in the ST Motorsports Big Red Truck Wash. Smith Titanium Jocko Sprint Parts, X1 Race Cars. That's Bryce Lucius. From Rawson, Ohio, in the Golden Flavor Sesame Sticks King Cold Meats. That's the 98 of Ricky Peterson Jr. From Elvira, Ohio, in the Ohio Logistics Truck Works, Debbie and Doug Ludwig, Kaiser Racing Wheels, Banshee Graphics, Mac Media. That's the 15K of Creed Kemenal. The high Creed Kemenal. From Valparaiso, Indiana, in the 13 in the Team VW Audi. Quick Time Car Wash, Triple X Race Cars, TI-22, Claxton Engines. That is Van Gurley Jr. In the 13. The final car heading into turn 3 and 4 from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. 17 GP. That is Tim Schaefer. Tim Schaefer in the 17 GP car. Schaefer in the Lifestyle Homes Parallax Motorsport 17 GP. That will be also the 29 from Tiffin, Ohio. The Level Utilities, Fremont Auto Parts, Linder Speed Equipment. That's Zest Sabo. Down the backstretch in front of the Millstream Speedway sign. From Adelaide, Australia, in the Kaiser Wheels, Slade Shocks, GW Racing, the 5AU, that is Brock Hallett. And the 7DK of Dylan Kingen from Ashland, Ohio, also hitting the Speedway. From Allenton, Michigan, the Crest Lincoln Ron CarQuest Armada, the 5E, that's Bobby Elliott. Bobby Elliott in the 5E. So 10 cars will hit the Speedway here in your first group of hot laps. Track record set by Dale Blaney the last time the All-Stars were here in 2016, 13.740. So here we go. Cars will get fired up and we'll get back. Green flag here for hot lap session number 1. So green flag is out. Ricky Peterson Jr., 15.260. Bryce Lucius, 14.789. Top of the board, 14.990 for Creed Kemenal. Now Tim Schaefer, 14.751. So Schaefer, Lucius, and Kemenal, your top 3 is now Lucius goes 14.710 to go back to the top. Schaefer now goes quicker, 14.661 for Tim Schaefer. Checkered flag will wave here. Tim Schaefer, 14.661, goes top of the board here in hot lap group 1 for qualifying group A. So Schaefer, Lucius, Brock Hallett, Creed Kemenal, Zest Sabo, your top 5.
Just a reminder that here at Millstream Speedway, those 2 orange cones that you see halfway down the front stretch, that is what we use for timing and scoring purposes. We do not use the flag stand, although we do have 2 wonderful flagmen up there doing a great job tonight. But again, all races will start and be timed from those 2 orange cones halfway down the front stretch.
group number 2 for qualifying session A. First car to hit the speedway from Fayetteville, Tennessee in the PTC Driving Academy Able Roofing C6 Auto Body. That is Sean Rahal. Sean Rahal in the 14. The high-octane 5D from Pocahontas, Indiana, that's Zach Dom. Zach Dom in the 5D. Right behind him, from Sacramento, California, in the Triple J Towing, Burkhardt Financial, Harris Distributing, C&H Veteran Enterprises, Valvoline, FK Rod-Ends, Behrman Shocks. That's the 101 of Caleb Henry. Heading into turn number 3 and 4. From Evans City, Pennsylvania, in the Superior Tank and Trailers, Ravens Trailers, Rustler Sales and Services, Hobart Auto Parts, 27 Manufacturing, Tony Burke Trucking. That's Brandon Spithaller in the 22. In the 15C, from Sandusky, Ohio, in the Kenworth of Cleveland, Fleet Financial, Ohio Truck Sales. That's Chris Andrews. Chris Andrews coming down the front stretch here in the 15C. Right behind him, from Enon Valley, Pennsylvania, in the Shell-Haas Landscape Construction, McFarland Lumber and Pallets, Bobby Clark Racing, Watkins Turf Care, Karski Security, Shopping Reduction, Luke's Bar and Grill. That is Leighton Wagner, the 38. Leighton Wagner turning to his old stomping grounds tomorrow night, 2024 Wayne County Track Champion. Also on the Speedway in the 17. From Hanover, Pennsylvania, in the Dynatech Controls, PhilPulls.com Thriviant, the 17. That's Dylan Norris. Dylan Norris in the 17. As that'll be all the cars here for your Group A of qualifying. Can anyone top Tim Schaefer's 14.661? Green flag will wave here on Group 2 of Hot Laps. Brandon Spithaller to fourth, quick 14.6. Chris Andrews now 14.350. He goes quick time here in Hot Laps. Zach Dom to second, quick 14.631. Caleb Henry now, he's going to go with a 14.521. Checkered flag on a wave here in Group 2. Chris Andrews so far top of the board. Zach Dom fourth quick. This checkered flag will wave. So quick time here in Hot Laps. The 15C of Chris Andrews 14.144. Caleb Henry 14.147. Brandon Spithaller, Zach Dom, and Tim Schaefer, your top 5 here in Hot Laps. Again, don't forget to set your dirt draft lineups. You have until the start of heat race action to set your dirt draft lineups.
That time for Chris Andrews of 14.144. Average speed for that lap was 101.81 miles an hour. Him and Caleb Henry, the only two drivers averaging 101 miles an hour. All the rest are in the 99 mile an hour, 98 mile an hour bracket. So 2 really fast race cars so far for Chris Andrews in the 15C. Caleb Henry in the 101 averaging 101, nearly 102 miles an hour around the 4/10th mile of Millstream Speedway.
We'll get ready here for Group A of Capital Renegade qualifying. Capital Renegade is your quick time sponsor here for 2025. With Napa Auto Parts All-Star Circuit of Champions, they are authorized Bravo Trailer Renegade and Intech Trailer dealership in Beltsville, Maryland through their own experience as race. To their own experiences as racers and antique car collectors, they have the unique ability to help you with all your trailer needs. For more information or to look at their online inventory, visit capitalrenegades.com. First car on the track for qualifying. From Findlay, Ohio in the ST Motorsports, Big Red Truck Wash, Smith Titanium, Jocko Sprints Parts, X1 Race Cars. That is the 32 of Bryce Lucius. Bryce Lucius in the 32. First time lap for Bryce Lucius, 14.114. 14.114 for Bryce Lucius' first time lap here in Capital. Qualifying. Second time lap for Bryce Lucius. He will not improve. He'll go 14.117. So 14.114 sets the bar here for qualifying. Second car on the Speedway from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, the Lifestyle Homes, Parallax Motorsports. That's a Steel City Outlaw of Tim Schaefer. Tim Schaefer in the 17 GP, a multiple-time winner already this year. Schaefer, multiple-time All-Star winner as well. First time lap for Tim Schaefer. He'll go 14.372. 14.372 first time lap for Tim Schaefer puts him second quick. Second time lap for Schaefer. He'll improve but stay second quick. 14.273 for Tim Schaefer. Next car on the Speedway from Valparaiso, Indiana in the Team VW Audi Quick Time Car Wash Triple X Race Cars TI-22 Claxton Engines Lane Automotive Elite Wings. That is Van Gurley Jr. Van Gurley Jr. in the 13 correction. Van Gurley, a three-time All-Star feature winner in his career. 2024 Butler Speedway champion as well. First time for Gurley, 14.945. 14.945 for the 13 of Van Gurley Jr. Second time lap for Gurley. He will improve but stay third quick. 14.658 for Van Gurley Jr. Next on the Speedway from Alvida, Ohio, in the Ohio Logistics Truck Works of Ohio, Debbie and Doug Ludwig, Kaiser Racing Wheels, Banshee Graphics, Mac Media. That's the 15K of Creed Kemenall. Creed Kemenall, of course, son of Chad Kemenall, a multiple-time champion with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Creed making his first full-time season with the All-Stars, first time for Kemenall. He'll go second quick, 14.227. 14.227 for Creed Kemenall. Second time around the Speedway for Kemenall. He will improve. 14.146 for Creed Kemenall. So second quick for the 15K of Kemenall. Next on the Speedway from Rawson, Ohio, in the Golden Flavor Sesame Sticks, King Cole meets 98. That is Ricky Peterson Jr. Ricky Peterson Jr., a two-time winner here in 2025. Currently second on the Fast on Dirt series. His first time lap for Ricky Peterson Jr. He'll go fifth quick, 14.665. 14.665. You saw Peterson with a little bobble there in 3 and 4. Hopes to improve on his second time around Millstream. Second time for Peterson, fourth quick, 14.610. So Bryce Lucius, Creed Kemenall, still your top two. Next from Ashland, Ohio, in the 7DK, that's Dylan Kingen. Dylan Kingen in the 7DK. First time lap for Kingen, he'll go 14.935. 14.935 for Dylan Kingen. Second time for Kingen. He'll improve but stay sick quick, 14.739. Next from Adelaide, Australia, the Kaiser Wheels, Slade Shocks, GW. That is the 5AU of Brock Hallett. Brock Hallett in the 5AU. Brock Hallett running the whole Ohio Speedweek schedule this year. His first time lap for the Australian of Hallett. He'll go sick quick, 14.665. 14.665 for Brock Hallett. Second time lap for Brock Hallett. Fourth quick, he'll go 14.467. Next on the Speedway from Memphis, Tennessee, in the Mike Pool car, Stinson Industrial, that is Howard Moore. Howard Moore in the 40. Might have seen Howard Moore earlier in this season with the World of Outlaws running down south early in the season. Howard Moore making a trip up to Ohio. First time lap for Howard Moore. He'll go seventh quick, 14.738. So 14.738. Second time for Howard Moore. He'll improve to 14.538. That'll put him to fifth quick on the board. Next up from Tiffin, Ohio, in the Level Utilities, Fremont Auto Parts, Linder Speed Equipment, the 29 of Zeth Sabo. Zeth Sabo coming off a top 5 finish at Butler Speedway last night. First time lap for Zeth Sabo. He'll go to 7th quick, 14.617 for Zeth Sabo. Regular at Fremont Speedway. Sabo running the whole Speedweek schedule as well. Second time lap for Sabo. He'll improve, go 5th quick on the board, 14.508 for Zeth Sabo. From Allenton, Michigan, in the Crest Lincoln Ron's CarQuest Armada, the 5E, that's Bobby Elliott. Bobby Elliott last season finished third in the Fast on Dirt point standings. His first time lap for Bobby Elliott. He'll go 10th quick, 14.860 for Bobby Elliott. So 14.860, Elliott's first time lap. Looks to improve here out of turn number 4. Second lap, he will go slower, 14.896. Next up in the 14. From Fayetteville, Tennessee in the PTC Driving Academy, Able Roofing, C6 Auto Body. That's Sean Rahal. Sean Rahal in the 14. First time lap for Rahal, 14.360. That'll put him 4th quick on the board for Sean Rahal. So 14.360. Second time lap, he'll go slower, 14.489. Rahal won last night at Butler. Coming out next from Evans City, Pennsylvania, the Superior Tank and Trailers, Ravens Trailers, Rustler Sales and Services, Hobart Auto Parts, 27 Manufacturing, Tony Burke Trucking. That's the 22 of Brandon Spithaler. Brandon Spithaler in the 22. First time lap for Spithaler, 10th quick, 14.705 for Brandon Spithaler. Second time lap for Spithaler. He will improve to 5th quick, 14.427 for Brandon Spithaler. Next on the Speedway from Sandusky, Ohio, and the Kenworth of Cleveland, Fleet Financial, Ohio Truck Sales, the 15C, that is Chris Andrews. Chris Andrews in the 15C. He went quick time in hot laps. Andrews' first time lap. Second quick, 14.122 for Chris Andrews. Chris Andrews, 14.122. Second time lap for Andrews. He will not improve, 14.169. So 14.122 puts Andrews second quick with 5 more cars to go. From Pocahontas, Illinois, in the high-octane 5D, that's Zach Dahm. Zach Dahm making his second start with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. First start was at Attica Friday night, which got rained out. First time lap for Zach Dahm. He will go to 8th quick, 14.500. 14.500 for Zach Dahm puts him 8th quick on the board. Zach Dahm, second time lap, 7th quick, 14.435. Next on the Speedway in the 95 from York, Pennsylvania, that is Hunter Mackeson. Hunter Mackeson making his first appearance with the All-Stars this season. First time lap for Mackeson. He'll go 14th quick, 14.788 for Hunter Mackeson. Second time lap for Hunter Mackeson. He will not improve, 14.929, so he will stay 14th quick. Next on the Speedway in the 17 from Hanover, Pennsylvania, in the Dynatech Controls, PhilPulls.com Trivium, that is Dylan Norris. Dylan Norris making the trip here from Central PA. First time lap for Dylan Norris. He'll go 13th quick, 14.691. Little hiccup there from Norris in 3 and 4. Looks to improve, though, and he will not, 14.708, so 13th quick. Next on the Speedway from Sacramento, California, in the Triple J Towing, Burkhardt Financial, Harris Distributing, C&H, Veteran Enterprises, Valvoline, FK Rodden, Spearman Racing Shops. That is the 101 of Caleb Henry. Caleb Henry in the 101. Second in points with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. 5th quick, 14.317. 14.317, 5th quick for Caleb Henry. Second time around, 3rd quick 14.131 for Caleb Henry.
38 didn't make it. That's all of them.
So quick time here, taking home 200 points for quick time. Bryce Lucius, 14.114. Chris Andrews, Caleb Henry, Creed Kemenall, Tim Schaefer, your top 5.
Hey, race fans, we do ask for your cooperation throughout the night with no smoking or vaping in the grandstand area. You are more than welcome to head underneath the grandstand and smoke and vape at your convenience, but we do ask that there be no smoking in the grandstand area. Also, 10 minutes ago, I got a message saying the winner share of the 50-50 was over $500. That was 10 minutes ago, so we're probably approaching close to 700 plus for the 50-50. So make sure to head down to that blue tent located behind the stands, behind the tower here, to get yourself some 50-50 tickets. I believe it's 6 for $5. 6 tickets, $5 is what I heard one of the young girls saying earlier. If that's wrong, don't quote me. That's unofficial. But 50-50, probably approaching 600 plus right now. About 10 minutes ago, it was 500 for the winner's half.
So we will get qualifying Group A off the speedway. Then we will get ready for Group B.
She has them.
Group B of qualifying to hit the speedway from Chillicothe, Ohio in the Pizza Pub. Number 4, that's Danny Smith, rolling into turn number 1 and 2. Down the front straightaway from Struthers, Ohio in the JS Bova Excavating Pro Quality Demo Southeastern Equipment Santa Kebab Sub Shop SP Tech, the 20B of Cody Bova heading into turn 1 and 2. Rolling down the front stretch from Kunkletown, Pennsylvania, the Western Mountain Incorporated BJD Motorsports. Number 6, it's the Kunkletown Kid. That's Ryan Smith. From Holmesville, Ohio. In the 81, it's Lee Jacobs. Lee Jacobs in the 81 going into turn number 3 and 4. From Jonestown, Pennsylvania, the Moose's LZ Heavy Equipment, Loaders and Parts, Milton Hershey School, C&D Rigging. That's the Jonestown Jet of Brock Zierfalls. Brock Zierfalls in the 3Z. Coming down out of turn number 4. From Fairland, Indiana, in the Rudzik Excavating, Centerline Boring, Smith Titanium, Al Drive Line, Behrman Racing Shocks, FK Rod-Ins. That's the 49X of Cale Thomas. Cale Thomas in the 49X. And right behind Cale Thomas, from LaGrange, Ohio, in the Mr. Heater, Heat Star, Cherry's Outdoor World, Cherry's Propane, Heatmeyer Concrete, Team Line 'em Up, Sips and Such Social House. That is the 11N of Casey Jedrzak. Casey Jedrzak in the 11N. And in turn 3 and 4, coming off a win at Western PA Speed Week from Rising Sun, Maryland, in the Hefner Racing Enterprises, Rapid Tire, A1 Mulch, Arts Custom Machine Shop, Stinger Race Fuels. That's the 27 of Steven Snyder Jr. Your final car from Castillo, Ohio, in the Level Performance, Level Utilities, Firelands Marine Construction, 21 of Larry Kingseed Jr. That is your first cars to hit the speedway here for Group B of qualifying for their hot lap session, as green flag will wave. One of Kingseed off the pace on the front straightaway. Cale Thomas 14.625, top of the board. Ryan Smith 14.742. Cody Bobo with a 14.981. Steven Snyder Jr. 15.080. Brock Zierfalls rounds out the top 5. So those cars head back into the pit area. First car on the speedway from Benton Ridge, Ohio. The DNC Hydraulics, Ohio Logistics, Miller Customs. That is the W20 of Greg Wilson. Greg Wilson in the W20. Behind Greg Wilson from Plymouth, Indiana, the Premier Planning Services, A to Z Mechanical, All Mobility, Duff's Bar and Grill, Deschler Lanes. That is the 4, your current points leader, Zane DeVault. Behind Zane DeVault in the 2MD. From Huntersville, North Carolina, in the Bikini Zone, Blue Email, Indy Race Parts, Tubbo Towels, Moon and Dagger Tattoo Shop, Emil Motor Oil. That is Aiden Price in the 2MD. From Raymond, Washington in the CEI Crane and Rigging, Starrett Services, DB Power Washing, Premier Pallet, Baker Mobile, that is the Daredevil, Devin Borden. Devin Borden coming down the front stretch, coming right behind him from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It'll be the 48, the Gary Kaufman, Weichert Livestock, Speedway Cars. That's the double D, Danny Dietrich in 48. Dietrich looking to become just the third ever driver to win Central PA Speed Week and Ohio Speed Week. The other two drivers, Keith Kaufman and Stevie Smith. Also from Adrian, Michigan in the Flush Portables, Deddy Bears, L&M Properties, Port Racing, Rhino Racing, Level Utilities, Town Line Variety, that is the 7N of Darren Nida. From Public Ohio, the Jeff Ward Demolition, Premier Planning Services, Elliott Custom Trailers and Cars, that's Cap Henry in the 33W. 35, a Store Brewmaker from Helena, Ohio in the Story Equipment BRS 35. Green flag will wave here on your second group. Danny Dietrich goes a third, went 15.015 for Danny Dietrich. Dietrich up to second quick, 14.761 for Danny Dietrich. Zane DeVolt's third quick, 14.889. This checkered flag will wave. Tied up top, it'll be the 14.742. Ryan Smith quick time, 14.761 by Danny Dietrich, will be second quick. Zane DeVault, Cody Bova, Stuart Brubaker will be your top five there. Again, can anyone top Bryce Lucius? 14.114. These cars will get lined up, and we will get ready for Group B of qualifying. As some special bonuses coming out. Thanks to Tyson Oakham and STP Motorsports. Quick time tonight gets an extra $1,500, $500 bonus to Greg Wilson if he starts on the pole of a heat race, and $1,500 bonus to a non-all-star driver to start on the pole of tonight's A main event. So some extra money on the line here tonight at Millstream for night number 3 of Ohio Speed Week. Again, Overwatch Precision Ohio Speed Week presented by Gill Construction, the richest Ohio Speed Week in history. First car to hit the speedway in the JS Bova Excavating Pro Quality Demo, a Southeastern Equipment Seneca Bob Sub Shop SP Tech from Struthers, Ohio, the 20B of Cody Bova. Bova currently sitting in the top 5 in the All-Star Circuit of Champions points after the Central PA trip. Bova's first time, 14.553. 14.553 again. Quick time overall, 14.114, set by Bryce Lucius. Second time lap for Cody Bova will not improve. He went 14.585, so quickest 14.553. Next on the Speedway in the 81 from Holmesville, Ohio, that's Lee Jacobs. Lee Jacobs in the 81. First time lap for Lee Jacobs, he'll go 14.907. 14.907 on his first time lap here in Group B of qualifying. Second time lap will be slower, 15.135. So second quick. Next from Jonestown, Pennsylvania, the Moose's LZ Bar and Grill, heavy equipment loaders and parts, Milton Hershey School. That is the 3Z, the Jonestown Jet of Brock Zierfoss. Brock Zierfoss in the 3Z. First time lap for Brock Zierfoss. He'll go second quick, 14.904. 14.904 for Brock Zierfoss. Second quick on the board behind Cody Bova with a 14.553. Second time for Brock Zierfoss. He will improve 14.775. So Brock Zierfoss 14.775 quickest for him, puts him second quick. Next up from Chillicothe, Ohio, the Pizza Sub number 4, that is Danny Smith. Danny Smith in the Pizza Pub number 4. First time lap for Smith, 15.101 for Danny Smith. Danny Smith, one of the original Outlaw drivers. Second time lap for Danny Smith. He will improve 14.944, but fourth quick for Danny Smith. So next car to hit the racetrack was the 21 of Larry Kingsley Jr. We see him stopped. About to hit the raceway. He had problems in hot laps. So it looks like problems might continue for the 21 of Larry Kingsley Jr. as his car seems not to be firing here in qualifying. So we'll push Kingsley to the back, see if they can get the issues figured out and get possibly one lap here at the end of qualifying. This next car to hit the racetrack from LaGrange, Ohio in the Mr. Heater, Heat Star, Cherry's Outdoor World, Cherry's Propane, Heatmeyer Concrete, Team Line 'em Up, Sips and Such, Social House, Perfection Fabrications, Rhonda Jendrzak, Wheelers, Howard Hanna. It is Casey Jendrzak in the 11N. Jendrzak had a strong performance before having contact in opening night with the All-Stars. He goes 5th quick, 15.156. Was running inside a podium spot, made contact on opening night with the All-Stars at Fremont. Sadly did not finish the 8-main competition. A second time for Jendrzak. He'll go 3rd quick, 14.869. Next on the Speedway from Fairland, Indiana in the Rudsig Excavating, Centerline Boring, Smith Titanium, Al Driveline, Behrman Racing Shocks, FK Rod Ends, the 49X. That's Cale Thomas. Cale Thomas in the 49X. First time lap for Cale Thomas. Second quick, 14.707 for Cale Thomas. Cale Thomas, who went quick time in his group at Attica before getting washed away by the rain. Can Cale Thomas go quick time here? Second time lap, he'll go quicker, but second quick still, 14.649 for Cale Thomas. Next on the Speedway from Kunkletown, Pennsylvania, the Western Mountain Incorporated, PJP Motorsports, the Kunkletown Kid, that's Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith, a podium finisher at Williams Grove a week ago, last Friday night. The 69K now returns to the 6 car. First time lap for Ryan Smith, 3rd quick, 14.737 for Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith. Second time lap for the 6. He will not improve, 14.860, so Ryan Smith, 3rd quick. Next on Speedway from Rising Sun, Maryland in the Hefner Racing Enterprises, Rapid Tire, A1 Mulch, Arts Custom Machine Shop, Stinger Race Fuels, Ryder Race Engines, Factory Cane Shocks, A1 Auto Core. That is Steven Snyder Jr. Steven Snyder Jr. in the 27. Steven Snyder Jr. running full time with the USAC Midgets, as well as his 600 micro sprint. First time lap for Steven Snyder Jr. He went 15.029, put him 8th quick. So a little smoke coming from the 27. Second time lap for Snyder. He will not improve, 15.184. So 8th quick, right on the bubble here as next car on the Speedway from Republic, Ohio in the Jeff Ward Demolition, Premier Planning Services, Elliott Custom Trailers and Carts, Tony Elliott Foundation, Primal Tea Shop, Innovative Excavating. That is Cap Henry in the 33W. First time lap for Cap Henry. Quick time, 14.461 for Cap Henry. So Cap Henry goes right to the top of the speed charts here for Group B of qualifying. Second time lap, he will go slower, 14.573, but new quick time, Cap Henry. Next on the Speedway from Plymouth, Indiana, the Premier Planning Services, A to Z Mechanical, All Mobility, Duff's Bar and Grill, Deschler Lanes, Island Inn, Watt Performance Handy Graphics. That is Zane DeVault, your current All-Star points leader, the 4 of Zane DeVault. First time lap for Zane DeVault. He'll go sit quick, 14.80. 14.80, sit quick for Zane DeVault. Zane DeVault took very good advantage of the Central PA swing. Now your current points leader. A second time for DeVault. He'll go 5th quick, 14.770 for Zane DeVault. Next from Helena, Ohio in the Story Equipment BRS 35, that's Stuart Brubaker. Stuart Brubaker in the 35. First time lap for Brubaker, 7th quick, 14.851 for Stuart Brubaker. Second time lap for the 35 of Brubaker. He will not improve, 15.040, so 7th quick for Stuart Brubaker. Next on the Speedway from Adrian, Michigan in the Flush Portables, Daddy Bears, L&M Properties, Poor Racing, Rhino Racing, Level Utilities, STP Motorsports, Slursky Excavating and Paving, Ackland Insurance, Town Line Variety. That's the 7N of Darren Nida. Darren Nida, a winner already at Fremont Speedway and Butler Speedway. Currently also sitting in 4th in the All-Star Point Series. first time lap for Darren Nida. 7th quick for the 7N, 14.816 for Darren Nida. So Nida, 7th quick right now. Second time lap for the 7N of Nida will not improve, 14.875. So 7th quick for Darren Nida. Next on the Speedway from Benton Ridge, Ohio, and the DNC Hydraulics Ohio Logistics Miller Customs. That's the W20 of Greg Wilson. Greg Wilson in the W20. Wilson's first time lap will go 13th quick, 15.113 for Greg Wilson. Second time lap for Greg Wilson. He will not improve, 15.234, so 15.113 for Greg Wilson puts him 13th quick. His problems for the 45 of Devin Borden. He'll just turn right into the infield as the 45 not firing. Borden currently 3rd in All-Star points. So not a good way here for the 45. As you'll see, he's trying to turn it around, get it back to the pits, and possibly get it back out here with only 2 cars left for qualifying. We'll see if he can get out. Scheduled to hit the Speedway next from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The Gary Kaufman Racing Weikert Livestock Speedway cars. That's Double D, Danny Dietrich in the 48. Danny Dietrich, hard charger last week at Williams Grove, followed by a winner at Lincoln Speedway. So a very good weekend with the All-Stars in town for the 48 of Danny Dietrich. He said one thing he wants to do is time better. So we'll see, can the 48 of Danny Dietrich time good here at Millstream? First time lap for Dietrich. 4th quick, 14.693 for Danny Dietrich. 4th quick, 14.693. Can he improve on that? That puts Darren Nida right on the invert bubble. Second time lap, he will not improve, as he will, but he will not improve position. So 14.651 for Danny Dietrich keeps him 4th quick. Next on the Speedway from Huntersville, North Carolina, the Bikini Zone, Blue Emu, Indy Race Parts, Tubbo Towels, Moon and Dagger Tattoo, Emil Motor Oil. That is Aiden Price in the 2MD. Aiden Price, his first trip to Millstream Speedway. A lot of firsts for the young man. As his first time lap, he will go 15.237, 15th quick for Aiden Price. As off the pace, he will go. So Aiden Price only getting 1 lap in as he is off the pace. Now we'll see the 21, see if he can fire. It looks like he might not be able to fire yet again, so still problems for Larry Kingseed. So we see the 45 of Devin Borden getting pushed to the staging area. He'll try and get out here for 1 more lap. We'll see the 45 getting pushed, see if he can fire his motor. He'll get one timed lap here. And it doesn't look like the 45 is going to fire as well. So problems for Kingseed and Devin Borden. So quick time here in qualifying Group 2 is Leighton Wagner going to get heat in the motor as he missed his qualifying group, so he'll fire his car up here. But quick time in Group B, Cap Henry 14.461, but taking home quick time here tonight, 14.114. Bryce Lucius taking home a $1,500 bonus for quick time here tonight.
Those of you watching online on FloRacing, we are taking cars out of the infield. We will bring the USAC midgets out to hot lap and then qualify. But in the meantime, we are going to take a quick break online for those of you watching on FloRacing.
Since their 2001 inception,
Also, those of you that are
DMI
here in
Racing
person, make
components
sure you
have
set
changed
that-
the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
Who's it gonna be? Aberdeen steals it here tonight.
Millstream Speedway, USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets set to take to the racetrack here momentarily for their hot lap session, just finishing up with hot laps and qualifying for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. A little bit of a new format for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets tonight. If you have seen us in the past, we typically hot lap and qualify at the same time. However, with our series never running the big track before, we ran the inside track last year, never the big track. We'll run a practice session first. We'll do it very quickly. We'll have 8 cars on the track at all times for all 3 sessions. They'll do a very quick hot lap session, and then we'll bring them back out to qualify. We group qualify, so it sounds like a lot, but it'll go through very quickly for you fans. We'll roll on to opening ceremonies immediately after that. So again, we're going to have hot laps here in just a few minutes for the USAC D2 midgets. They will come off the racetrack, and then we will bring them back out to qualify. And we talked about the track record set by Dale Blaney for the 410 wing sprint cars, 13.740. Well, there's no question we are going to have a new track record, the inaugural track record tonight for the Midwest Midgets. Again, we ran that inside quarter mile a year ago. Jacob Boxell holds the track record for the quarter mile, so we'll see who will get the track record tonight. He was, I believe, a 6-time, Jacob Boxell, a 6-time quick time qualifier, VMS quick time qualifier back in 2024. Just waiting here to see cars get pushed onto the racetrack. Make sure to head down to the concession stand when there's breaks in the action, or head on down to the beer garden if you are of drinking age. We just ask that you drink responsibly. Make sure you get those 50/50 tickets as well. Selling very quickly. Winner is going to go home with quite a bit of money tonight. Millstream Speedway t-shirts available as soon as you walk in through the main gate. If you are new to the USAC Midwest Thunder Midget competition, it is a lot different than what you see on the National Touring Series with the Silver Crown, with the midgets, with the sprint cars. We group qualify, we invert. It's just a completely different format. It's a lot of fun. Like, you never know what's going to happen or where these drivers are going to start. One, they pill draw into their heat group. So the drivers that you're going to see on the racetrack right now are the drivers that you will see in Performance Electronics Heat Race number 1 later on tonight. And again, this is not a qualifying session. This is just a hot lap session. Driver crossing the start-finish line, that's going to be the 11, Buddy Holmeyer. Buddy Holmeyer, the former Kenyan midget racer, full-time in the Team Taylor number 11 this year. Excited to have him with us. He ran the largest track he ever had, Eldora Speedway, a month ago. That's the last race we ran with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. This is the second largest race he has run. Cole Morgan out there in the 7M as well. Driver crossing the start-finish line, our most recent winner, and it's weird to say most recent because that win came over a month ago. That's the Ohio Hammer Luke Hall on the 74. Luke Hall, a lot of laps in the area in a 410 non-wing, 360 wing, and a midget. Ian Krieger in car number 36. We'll get more in depth with these drivers in their qualifying sessions. Again, this is just hot laps. We'll bring them onto the track, see if there's any gearing changes that need to be made, send them pit side, make any of those adjustments to come back out and qualify. Luke Lemons in the 33. One of my favorite looking cars on tour this year. Got an up close look at it at Eldora Speedway. Very nice looking car. It's basic, but it's cool. I like those type of cars. Nice, basic, good looking. That's Luke Lemons in the 33. I believe we have a squirrel up in the flag stand too tonight, so. And these are the drivers in heat race number 1. Just coming out for a quick testing session before going pit side. 18 in of Derek Knopfsinger. Carl Peterson out there as well. Carl Peterson in the yellow and black number 49. I believe these are Braden Schwartz in the 55S should be the other driver out on the racetrack. There he is in turn number 2. So green flag out in practice session number 1 for the USAC Midwest D2 Midgets. We'll see how these lap times compare as the sessions go on. And again, they will go back pit side. We won't send them to the infield. We'll let them exit the racetrack at the conclusion of this hot lap session. Seven of the first 9 races for the D2s claimed by Mother Nature. Very difficult start of the season. Hard to get any momentum going. It's been over a month since our last race. Millstream Speedway alone has had cancellations for the first 3 races of their season. So far, Luke Hall, the 74 quickest in group number 1, 18.633. Only driver in the 18-second bracket. So checker flag out in group number 1. These drivers will exit the racetrack. They'll make some pretty quick changes to these cars. And we'll see them come out in a little bit to qualify. And again, unlike the All-Star Circuit Champions, we will qualify in our group. We do that to save time, make things more convenient for the fans. Like to make it nice and easy for you. Group 2 pushing off. These are the drivers that you will see in Stifel Home and Auto Heat Race number 2 later on tonight. 3 heat races scheduled, 24 cars signed in. All cars and drivers will transfer to tonight's A main. Now, a little bit later, even though we qualify only within the drivers in our group, we do present an overall Quick Time Qualifier Award presented by VMS Motorsports. We'll talk more about them during VMS Motorsports Quick Time Qualifying. First driver, 2-time winner last year. I believe he may have the most wins in series history as well. Someone will fact check me on that and let me know when I get back pit side tonight that I was wrong. But that is Chet Gerke. Chet Gerke in that black number 10. Well, he's competitive, and for whatever reason, these races that are